one more thing here. It doesn't say how old to go.
Call to order the regular Storm Lake City Council meeting of November 3rd. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I'd like the record show that we have three council people here today, and we have Councilperson Ramos online. Can you hear us, Councilperson Ramos?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
And we can hear you fine. Wonderful. So, okay, we will move on then with consideration to any changes to the agenda. Do you have any consideration, any changes, Council?
No.
Hearing none, then I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda as is.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson Martinez,
Second.
second by Councilperson Rickliffs. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That will carry and the agenda is set. Next item then, is there any disclosures to any city council members for any items that are on the agenda? Hearing none, then I will move on to hear the public. Do we have anyone here who would like to address the council on a non-agenda item? If so, if you please step up to the podium. It's turned off before you take me out to the ball game playing. Do we have anyone online who would like to address the council on a non-agenda item? If so, it's *6 to unmute. I guess the only thing I would like to say right at the moment is, as many of you know, that we have problems with the lack of funding for the SNAP programs in our state. And I would love it. And we have a lot of folks in our community who need support in their food insecurities. And I would call out to our community to help our fellow citizens in our community with their food insecurities. We have several options, starting this week with food gatherings, food pantries, food drop-offs. You can also give donations at different places with just a wide variety of opportunities. So I would suggest get on Facebook and just see what is out there for the potential for food donations. We really need it in our community, not only just because of the SNAP, but this time of year, it's always a great time of year to help our families in our community with their food insecurities. So we appreciate any help, and I know that our community would appreciate any help that we can give to our fellow citizens for their for the food this month. So please look in your hearts and check out Facebook to see all the different opportunities that there are in places where you can drop off food for people in our community. So please consider that. With that then, and seeing no one else for Hear the Public, we will move to the consent agenda. Do we have any questions or comments on the consent agenda, Council? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson Martinez,
Second,
second by Councilperson Ramos. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. That will carry. Next item of business is the work session regarding vape and consumable products.
Hello, this is Andrea Hoyt. I was asked to kind of present about this. I didn't know if
Hey, Ms.
now is-
Navratil.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and Council. We do have
Iowa Health and Human Services Compliance Program Manager Andrea Hoyt on Zoom tonight, and she will present on vape and consumable products. So if we just get 1 second while we transfer Zoom onto our screen.
And we'll go as we've done in the past with work sessions, that is a conversation for council. It is not a public input. Just so we keep that parameter in place, that it's meant for council to be able to discuss the topic at hand.
Thanks. Okay. Andrea, are you able to hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
But we are not able to hear you.
Okay, I switched microphones. Was that better?
Our IT is working on it.
Would you say the presenter's name is?
Andrea Hoyt.
H-O-Y-T.
All right, testing.
Not yet.
Testing. Can you guys hear me?
Brendan technology.
Look at me.
Yeah.
I'm not helpful.
I am not helpful either. I've been known to cause more damage than good. Is it possible to go to the next agenda item? I'll get this set up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Keep moving along. We'll move on to the next agenda item.
Okay.
Should be item number 2. So let us know when you get that ready to go. Item number 2 then is a motion to approve the civil service hiring list request. Chief Cole.
Iowa Code Section 400.11 requires cities to establish rank eligibility lists after testing for civil service positions. These lists are active for 1 year. During this time, the city must hire from the list until the next testing period. Recent legislative changes have modified how these hiring lists are created and maintained. The legislature has introduced Iowa Code Section 400.12A, giving cities the option to discontinue creating and using hiring lists. With a majority vote, the city council can decide to stop using hiring lists. This vote remains effective for 1 year with the option to renew annually. As you recall, we voted on this last year. This change allows cities to test and hire applicants continuously rather than being limited to established hiring lists. This option is available not only for police and firefighter positions, but for all roles governed by civil service law. Furthermore, cities may choose to suspend hiring from current lists immediately without waiting for their expiration. Chief Sinner and I would like to request the city council vote again to allow the police and fire departments to suspend using hiring lists for 1 year for both patrol officer positions and fire department positions. This has worked well in the last year and has helped streamline our hiring process.
I guess just a question I had just for clarification. The motion we have before us is to approve the civil service hiring list or to approve the way we've been doing it before?
Approve suspending the use of the list.
Okay, just want to make sure we're full understanding on that before we brought it to a vote. Do we have any questions for Chief Cole?
So yes, Chief Cole, you've said the advantage to suspending the list. Are there any disadvantages to suspending the list? Anything that would be harmful in the long term?
Not that we
You-
found.
Okay, and other municipalities have done this as well?
Correct.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Chief Cole? Okay, hearing none then, I would entertain a motion to approve the civil service hiring list request.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson Martinez,
Second.
second by Councilperson Rickliffs. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That will carry.
Thank you.
Move on.
We have one set. No, let's move on.
Councilperson, Ramos, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay.
I just couldn't hear very well when they were speaking.
Okay, we're moving on to the next item then, which is ordinance number 3-0-2025-2026. A zone for a zoning map amendment change in the IN3 Hospital Medical Facilities zoning district to allow for a change to CC Community Commercial. This is the second reading.
Mayor and Council, again, this second reading on this, and this is for Michael Copeland and his partner doing business as Turnaround Property Storm Lake LLC. This is located at 1309 West Milwaukee. This is what was formerly part of the BB RMC's gymnastics program. Mr. Copeland and his partner purchased it. They've been trying to sell it. They've taken their business and moved it back to Lamar's, I believe. And they're having a lot of difficulty selling it. Basically, it's in an IN3, which is really designed for the hospital medical type facilities. And that's not what it's been used for. The hospital did own that parcel at one time, split it off. So they have no intention of developing it that way. Mr. Copeland would like to therefore rezone this to CC, which is more of an office retail type use like we have on North Lake Avenue and also along West Milwaukee. So that's what he's requesting. The P&Z again did review this and approve it on September 9th, making a recommendation to the city council to approve this request.
Do we have any questions?
Yeah, I just have a question, more of a curiosity. If this was rezoned, would there be ample land around it to allow them to put an entrance and parking?
They do own some property, Councilperson McKeon, to the west side and also a little bit to the north side. So they would have to go through, depending on how much parking they need to provide. They would be able to do that, had to comply with stormwater rules. It really depends on what the use is. That'll drive how much park is required. So depending on what use it gets sold for. But yeah, they do have some additional property to the west and also to the north to add some surface park.
I was just curious because when it was a gymnastics center, they were parking in the BVRMC Fitness Center a lot, so.
Yes, ma'am. I believe, and I'm not sure what the status is on that, but they did have an agreement with the BVRMC to utilize that parking that they originally purchased it. So,
Thank you.
yes, ma'am.
Do we have any other questions for Mr. Olson? I would just like to bring up if it's council's okay, if we waive this on second reading and move it to a third reading since we have postponed it a couple times. I don't
agree.
know if we've had any anybody contact us with any objections to this change at all?
There was some objections at the P&Z, but some of it were by the adjoining property owners. They misunderstood that their property was going to be rezoned. There's one person at the P&Z meeting, an adjoining property owner that was not in agreement with it, but I haven't heard from them subsequent to that meeting.
But P&Z passed it.
Yes, ma'am.
I agree that we waive this second reading because we have put it off. And I think that's a detriment to the property owners.
I will then entertain a motion to waive second reading and go on to third reading.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson Rickliffs,
Second.
seconded by Councilperson Martinez. All in favor of this motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Opposed, same sign. That will carry. So we have waived second reading and we'll move on to the third reading. So I'd entertain a motion to approve the ordinance number 3-0-2025-2026 for zoning map amendment change in the IN3 Hospital Medical Facilities zoning district to allow for a change to CC, which is community commercial. And this then would be the third and final reading.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson McKeon,
Second.
second by Councilperson Martinez. This will be a roll call vote. So Councilperson Martinez,
Aye.
Councilperson Rickliffs. Aye. Councilperson McKeon
Aye.
and Councilperson Ramos.
Hi.
That will carry.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anywhere with that, Jim? Okay, we will move on to item number 4. A motion to approve urban renewal report for fiscal year 2024-2025. Mr. Gibbons.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and Council. Each year, the council must approve an annual urban renewal report before December 1st and submit the report to the state of Iowa in order to adopt your next fiscal year's budget. The urban renewal report is a summary of the year's activities in each of the urban renewal areas. The urban renewal report includes 5 areas consisting of 31 specific projects. The urban renewal report currently identifies 34 total debts tied to projects included in the urban renewal areas. Of the 34 debts, 24 are internal loans, approximating $12.8 million. 4 are rebates for $3.6 million. And 5 are external debt obligations for $24.2 million. The rebates have decreased by 1 because of the termination of the Dollar Tree rebate agreement that was done earlier this year. So that fell off of the report. Finally, on December 1st each year, the city certifies the county any debt that is incurred on the area as claim on tax for those tax increment financing dollars in each district. The county then disperses those funds appropriately for the repayment of those debts. On the first page, the financial recap represents this portion of the process. For fiscal year 2025, we collected $3.27 million in increment revenue, of which 410,000 were paid to rebates. A little over $1 million were paid to external debt obligations, and 1.7 million were paid for internal loans. A few things to note in the report: the total TIF revenue of $3.2 million is about 3 times higher than what we got in 2020, but it's a little bit overstated because of an appeal evaluation that was significant for one of the parcels in one of the areas, meaning the organization who challenged their valuation and won have a credit for the current fiscal year, which they already paid to a tune of about $500,000. So this current year that we're in, we won't collect their taxes because they already paid them. They have a credit, but next year going forward, or the following year, it'll be about $500,000 less than that 3.2 million. As stated in the urban renewal report last year, the county previously diverted TIF revenue dollars for third edition, which is also in the report because it was not repealed for the urban renewal area until September of this year. So it still shows in your fiscal year 25 report, but it will fall off as well. But you'll see that there's no debt included in there. Finally, for the fiscal year, we have about $15,000 in cash balance, which will be used to fund the current year that we're in right now. It's debt. The recommendation is to approve the urban renewal report and submit it to the state of Iowa and certify the debt to the county auditors. Be happy to answer any questions we have.
Do you have any questions for Mr. Gibbons? Hearing none, then I'd entertain a motion to approve the urban renewal report for fiscal year 2024-2025.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson McKeon. Second. Second by Councilperson Rickliffs. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed, same sign. That will carry.
Honorable Mayor, maybe try Zoom one more time to see if we have voice.
Can we just,
Do you want to do that? Okay.
let's finish
Finish
Mr.
with
Gibbons
Kylie.
while he has to stand up here for another one. We'll just get his,
Easy exercise.
we'll get his taken out of the picture, then move on to that. Next item then is a motion to submit the fiscal year 2025 annual financial report. Mr. Gibbons.
Thank you again. The annual financial report reflects the actions of all city staff members at the direction of council to execute the necessary services to the community under the constraints of fiscal operating budgets. Each year, the state of Iowa requires the annual financial report before December 1st. This report covers fiscal year 25, which runs July 1st of 2024 to June 30th of 2025. For reference, we started this in October of 2023. So it's now finally being closed out. The full report is attached, outlining activities in each program. It's worth noting that per Iowa code, each line, public safety, public works, culture and rec, may not exceed authorized budgets set forth by council. This comparison is on the first page of the AFR in columns C and D. In total, there was $65.8 million in revenues and expenses were $67 million. The majority of the difference of activities to the budget was due to the large capital projects, just like our budget planning, just which fiscal year they actually get done with the construction year happening in the middle of it. There's a column throughout the report for debt service, but overall debt service makes up about 4.03% of the overall budget. The majority, typically all, unless previously authorized by council, like the fire truck expense, for example, are paid through a claims report through operations, not debt service. For fiscal year 25, the city had just over $14.4 million of GO debt with the issuance of the new $2.866 million fire truck bond and $5.8 million of TIF revenue debt. Both of these go toward the constitutional debt limit. The constitutional debt limit is $41 million. It means the city of Sterling is at 49% of the constitutional debt limit, which is significantly lower than many other communities and lower than we have been in history. Labor accounts for about 8% of the total expenditures. Just like stated on the urban renewal report, TIF revenues were $3.2 million. Business type activities include utilities in Kings Point, ended up with $23.6 million in expenditures, which include the project, and $23.8 million in revenues. At the end of the year, we were just over $19 million in cash flow and reserves. Staff's recommendation approve this middle of the annual financial report. Be happy to address any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Gibbons? Appreciate the overview.
Good.
Any questions? Hearing none, then I'd entertain a motion to submit the fiscal year 2025 annual financial report.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson Martinez, seconded by Councilperson Ramos. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed, same sign. That will carry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, ready to try the Zoom again?
Yes.
Yes, council members, can you hear me?
We can.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're back up to item number 1, work session regarding vape and consumable products. Ms. Natterfield, we'll let you start again.
Yes, hello everyone. My name's Andrea Hoyt. I am the Compliance Program Manager for the Bureau of Cannabis Regulation. I updated that date, so please ignore that date was an old date from an old presentation. A little bit about me, I have a law degree and a pharmacy degree from Drake University, but I'm happy to kind of run you through what a vape shop looks like to help better inform you of kind of how to address your issues within Storm Lake's community. So that next slide that I have is just a little bit of a disclosure. My office regulates cannabis, including consumable hemp products. Everything else in this is kind of to the best of our knowledge from us being out in the field in that community, within the vape shops, the hemp shops, whatever you may call them. So just like to put that disclaimer, and any pictures in my PowerPoints, they're not endorsements of any products. HHS does not endorse products. Specifically, they were just used from Google Images. So kind of going through what these vape shops carry. The first one is my next slide, which is what I regulate, the consumable hemp products. These are products that contain THC, CBD, or both. Most commonly, we see edible forms such as gummies and chocolates, but tablets, tinctures, those kind of things, and topicals are permitted. Most of these shops do sell them. There's about 1,200 shops in Iowa that are registered with my office to sell these products. But there will be nothing inhalable from this product category because that is strictly prohibited by Iowa Code 204, that there cannot be any inhalable hemp products. Next product that a vape shop may carry is kind of your typical tobacco nicotine products. Those are regulated both by HHS and the Department of Revenue. You'll get your typical cigars, cigarettes, your nicotine vapes, pouches, etc. I've lumped into this category, regulated by both. Again, I don't regulate this one, but these are very well regulated products. So hopefully there's not too many issues, but the next couple products I talk about, you won't find that. So next slide. Are these mushroom products that you'll see at these shops pretty frequently. They don't contain psilocybin, which is the federally illegal magic mushroom on that next slide. So these products are legal. Some of them are psychoactive. That does surprise some members of the public that these products are legal. They are available in both inhalable and oral forms. So I did a picture of an inhalable brand that's really common, but there's also gummies that are made of mushrooms such as amanita and lion's mane that are available. There's not a specific regulatory department in Iowa to regulate them. So as long as they meet the very basic, for the food ones, the very basic Department of Inspections, Appeals, and Licensing rules for food products, these products are allowable. Our next product is the one that I think I got asked to speak about most today, this nitrous oxide. It's the same product as when you think of going to the dentist and getting laughing gas. It's that same product. It's an anesthetic. It's referred to as Whippets, spelled different ways by different people, and Galaxy gas. There's no set regulator in Iowa, but there is a code section in Iowa Code 126 that prohibits the possession with intent to breathe, inhale, or ingest for the purpose of causing a high. I'll just summarize it that way. So there is a law prohibiting its possession. However, that intent part of intent to ingest, inhale, or breathe is where it gets a little bit tricky. The legal use of this is for the whipped cream canisters. I have one myself. I purchased the nitrous on Amazon, so it's a regularly available product to make whipped cream. It's intended for culinary use, but it can be used recreationally. That is prohibited by Iowa Code 126, but we definitely see it. Next product is Kratom's, also 7-OH. They are different products, but they both work on opioid receptors. It's similar in that there's not a specific department in Iowa that regulates the safety, efficacy, that regulates any Kratom products, so they are legal to sell. My office doesn't deal with, we see these in vape shops, but it is completely outside of our scope. And then the last product that I wanted to mention that these vape shops sell is glass pipes. These recently had a big bill that require a permit through the Iowa Department of Revenue. They can't be on display to those under the age of 21 to purchase. But if a shop doesn't allow minors in it, they can be on display. There's a pretty hefty tax. I believe it's a 40% tax on it, and the store must keep a purchase log. Again, that's regulated through a Department of Revenue. So I'm happy to answer the questions you have regarding kind of these products and what stores may have or may carry, kind of what the intended use are. I'm happy to answer questions from you, Council.
Have any questions for?
Dozens of
This way.
questions. So, this is Maggie Martinez. I'm one of the city council members, and it was brought to my attention, the Whippet product,
Mhm.
but I believe there was another named brand. I don't really know the name brand, but it was much larger than the picture you showed here. It was almost the size of a small fire extinguisher.
Yes.
So quite large, and that would be enough whipped cream for an abundance, let's just say. And I don't believe that's what they were trying to sell it to me for, because I specifically asked, what would I use to get high with? What would I inhale? And that's what they showed me. So I never asked about whipped cream ever. So that is something that concerns me. The other, and it's interesting that you call them glass pipes, we call them bongs, but there's a 40% tax on that, but is there not a 40% tax on the thing that's really causing the trouble, these inhalants, these?
No, there is not additional tax
No
on
tax on that.
these inhalant products, no.
And then the other, did you say, yes, you do oversee the regulations of vape, like the nicotine vapes?
That is a different department within HHS. It's not my department, but I believe that they fall under the tobacco people within HHS. I can't promise that 100%.
Okay. And the specific item that we were questioning was this nitrous oxide. Is that something you do or don't supervise?
We see it in the field, but we do not regulate it. There is not a regulator in Iowa for those products.
So not even the Iowa Department of Revenue?
Correct.
Nobody's watching?
Correct.
All right. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Dozens, but I don't want to keep her. I know that she spent a long time trying to get online today, and I appreciate her coming. But that is my concern.
But I think we also,
We
I
have
think
to have
she
the
would,
questions, yes.
I think she would be
Yes, I
more
have
than
more
happy to answer more questions if you,
Right.
if you
Yes, I'm
more for her, I don't.
Mostly about that, and that's not something that she oversees, and I would like to see, since there's nobody overseeing it, I guess there's not
What-
much she can.
I guess then, okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
so
Councilperson.
we're an open meeting, so we have members of the public who are listening. So I appreciate your time and I apologize that we kept you waiting. This is Councilperson McCann. So I understand you're not in charge of regulating it. So we have a bill that's in place with no enforcement and regulation, which is disappointing. And I think that's something that Councilperson Martinez and I are very concerned about. But for those listening who might not be aware of the dangers of nitrous oxide, can you tell us what the dangers are of people consuming and using it for the purpose of getting high or for recreation, which I think is a terrible term to use for this kind of behavior. But if you could give us some ideas of the dangers of this, because I think it's very serious.
most definitely. I'll put my pharmacist hat on
Thank you.
for this question. Short-term use, it is an ingredient that people think of for getting high, just like at the dentist. It would cause that relaxation, euphoria. It can also cause hallucinations, dizziness, headache, oxygen deprivation in kind of that short term, and then long-term use. It can cause some neurological issues, such as like limb tingling, mobility. It is legal to have it at the dentist office. I want to clarify that it's totally fine when it's supervised by a provider, but using it in one of these not approved settings can be really dangerous. You have someone who's hallucinating or has that significant dizziness, headaches, and then takes a fall. It's a big concern.
I would also add that it's a danger for somebody to drive under the influence of having used this product. Is that correct?
Definitely correct.
And so driving under the influence of nitrous oxide is not covered under the motor vehicle laws either?
It would be under a simulated or under 321J.2, which is the drug code, saying that it is illegal to drive under the influence of any mind-altering substance.
Although it would be difficult to determine if that's what they're under the influence of. Would you agree?
I do agree.
I think that kind of ties the hands of law enforcement in ways that makes it difficult. I believe it's going to take legislation at a higher level than here, although I would like to see some ordinance because I know as a fact that I went into a vape store here in town and was educated on how to which items to purchase. So I think whether we work with legislature, we have been in contact with Megan Jones, or we look at an ordinance within our community. I would be for both.
Is a community able to pass ordinances to regulate off a state bill such as we have?
That would be a question for your county attorney. My gut immediately says that that would not be prohibited, but I don't want to make any promises on that.
Sure.
You mean the legislation, the city ordinance would not be prohibited or would be prohibited? In
I
your-
think that it would not be prohibited, but that would be a question for your legal counsel
I mean,
to
it's
determine.
possible if it would be enforceable, I guess
Sure.
would be the question. So the best angle would probably be to work with state legislators then?
I do wonder if us starting to work on an ordinance might help to motivate the state legislature to take this into consideration. I think that when it was first brought up, wasn't apparent to everybody in the community just how serious it is. I think anybody who's following this meeting sees the attachment from an impassioned attachment from a family that has been negatively affected by this. So I think if we can start to work on an ordinance, I would be in favor of doing that, starting with a work session and presentation on how to go about doing that.
Ms. Hoyt, have you presented at any other municipalities in Iowa and where this has been a topic?
I have not. You have been the first that have asked for it.
We like to be leaders, right? So, thank you.
Any other
Thank you so
questions
much,
for Ms. Hoyt?
counsel.
You do not have any other questions, it doesn't look like, so we
Thank you very
appreciate, we
much.
thank you very much for your time this evening.
Thank you for having me. I
Thank you for
appreciate
the
it.
information. Do you have any other, we're in a work session, is there any other comments, council, that you have?
Just that I would like us to move forward in exploring how to pass an ordinance, if we can.
Honorable Mayor and Council, I don't know if you want me to start scheduling now, but on the November 17th meeting, we had planned the code enforcement work session. Did we want to move that one to talk about nitrous oxide? Or
I say
do
if
we
you've
want to,
got something already on.
but it's to
keep with
staff.
that.
I think we maybe want to move it a little while, just so we can think of what information we might want.
And I'll reach
at a
out
Work session like that.
and I will try to reach out to,
Instead of just jumping right
Right.
in without having a little more background and maybe who we need to, law enforcement and, or maybe attorney, who we need to actually talk to in the meantime to make sure we go about it the right way.
so.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We need to research it. We need to get the proper amount of information. In the meantime, I would also suggest that members of our community in Storm Lake should take a look at this. Be concerned because it's your children who could be walking in to get it. And maybe you should also write letters to our legislative representatives asking for some action.
Any other comments at all?
I would agree. Thank you very much. Thanks for getting Andrea.
Yeah. Thank you.
You did something. I mean, you did, and you got her here. So that's a very, very good first step. So thank you.
Okay. Nothing else on that one, we will. It's working. Move down to the next work session. I gotta find her again. There it is.
Dutfield's. Jones Show.
Okay, the next item then is a work session on Storm Lake zoning code, Article 10, sign regulations. Mr. Dutfield.
Honorable Mayor and Council, what you have before you is one second. The finalized draft of the proposed sign regulation changes. The document has been developed to incorporate the ad hoc committee's recommendations aligned with city council's directives and addresses legal considerations, enforcement, and public impact. So if you have any additional direction or questions, I'd be happy to answer those. If not, then we would move on. Next step would be planning and zoning would approve, would review it, and we would set a public hearing. But for this work session, for the sake of that, if you had any questions. I tried to incorporate, I have incorporated all the changes and recommendations.
Yeah.
And I would be more than willing to go through the whole thing again, but I also was working on a musical, the sign ordinance musical.
Wearing a sandwich board?
Yes.
Any other questions for any questions for Mr. Dutfield at this time?
So can we clarify, this has to go to planning and zoning from us?
They would get it first, right?
Yep. And then we would move on.
Would they have
The
that?
next step would be the public hearing.
They have it before a public, because I see the next item is the.
Yep.
Yeah, is the public hearing, and that would
Yep.
be after the zoning.
Correct. We're trying to keep this
Sure.
moving along.
So is it on an agenda for a P and Z?
Yes. They're in the process of
Oh, they're in the
gathering the
process. Okay,
P and Z
thank you.
together, so yeah. It will be on there.
Anything else? We're good? Well, if we're good, then we can move on to the next item, which would be setting the public hearing. So the next item then is a motion setting the public hearing for updating the city zoning code, Article 10, sign regulations. Mr. Dutfield.
Honorable Mayor and Council, as I mentioned before you, is the sign regulations update. It incorporates the committee, ad hoc committee recommendations, your directives, legal considerations, enforcement, and public impact. It's a recommendation of staff to approve the motion to set the public hearing. This would be held on our meeting on December 1st. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Any questions for Mr. Dutfield? Hearing none, then I would entertain a motion to set the public hearing for updating city zoning code, Article 10, sign regulations, and that would be on December 1st at 5 p.m. here in the council chambers.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson McKeon,
That was some person wrong, second.
second by Councilperson Ramos. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Sorry.
Anyone opposed? That will carry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Item then is ordinance number 4-0-2025-2026, amending Title 9, Chapter 11, stopping, standing, or parking of the 1994 recodification of the municipal code of the city of Storm Lake, Iowa regarding additional parking restrictions. And this is the first reading. Mr. Darrigon.
Honorable Mayor and Council, it's my honor to be the closer tonight. Before you is the much anticipated, eagerly awaited amendment to the parking ordinance. On the staff summary are the 8 items that are being considered for changes. The public hearing was held on October 20th. I would be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Mr. Darrigon?
Have we received any comment from the public?
Honorable Mayor and Councilor McKeon, just from the public hearing
That's it.
and the comments we received, we really can't consider with this, but we will in the next round as we're working on our code updates.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think that also, as far as athletic events at the high school with that, I think they can, do a waiver at this
Yeah.
point, still be in compliance, so.
Yeah, we'll have a solution for you.
Yeah. Thank you. Great. That shouldn't run into that till springs. Any other questions? Hearing none, then I would entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 4-0-2025, 2026, amending Title IX, Chapter 11, stopping, standing, or parking of the 1994 recodification of the municipal code of the city of Storm Lake, Iowa regarding additional parking restrictions. And this is the first of 3 readings.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson Martinez,
Second.
second by Councilperson Rickliff. This will be a roll call vote. So Councilperson Rickliff.
Aye.
Councilperson McKeon.
Aye.
Councilperson Ramos. And Councilperson Martinez.
Aye.
That will carry.
Thank you.
Next up, do we have any city council requested items? For future work sessions.
I want to thank Dana for putting out the information about the food drives that we have throughout the community. He's posted on Facebook and all the other things that I don't watch, but I appreciate that.
So a lot of opportunities.
A lot of opportunities for people to help.
I
Just
just,
the collection of money, monetary donations too.
It's on his on his
Flyer.
flyer, yes, that he posts on the City of Storm Lake.
and I just have a couple things. First off, city elections and school board elections are tomorrow. At the precincts from 7 AM to 8 PM. So I would ask everybody to get out and vote, please, tomorrow. Also our volunteer reception, the reception that we have for all the many volunteers in our community is Wednesday. At 5:30 at Kings Point, so, you don't need to be invited. If you are a volunteer somewhere in the community, and it doesn't make any difference whether it's directly related to city activities, but if you're a volunteer in the city, no matter where you are affecting the city as a whole, no matter where you are volunteering at. So we would certainly like to have many volunteers as possible come as our way of thanking you for working to better our community. So
In the past, it's always been very nice. Amy's done a very nice job putting it together. It's a very nice event, so.
please come. Anything else? Ms. Navratil, do you have anything?
Honorable Mayor and Council, I just want to just say for future council work sessions, I have the on November 17th, code enforcement and beautification discussion as a work session. And then on December 1st, I have the ordinance, work session. And I just wanted to make sure I write it correctly on the agenda, so we cover everything that you want to discuss, so I write it correctly. So I have a work session regarding vape stores and nitrous oxide, or just nitrous oxide, or,
Well, I would say nitrous oxide
Yeah.
because I think we want
Okay.
to address its sale because of its misuse. I don't want to say it's just in vape stores and then
Okay.
have some other stores start
Right.
picking it up. So it's prohibiting the sale of nitrous oxide.
Anything else? Yep. Thank you, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Councilperson McKeon,
Second.
second by Councilperson Martinez. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.